Good morning to everybody, and welcome to Live at the Waterhole with myself, Chad Hobson. I'm going to be your naturalist for the show today. I hope everybody's having a lovely Tuesday morning, and I hope wherever you have joined us around the world, I do hope you are going to send through your comments and questions. If you would like to subscribe, you can subscribe on our website, and you can send questions and comments through there. Or you can even join the conversation using the hashtag WildEarth on X. So we started here at Jamala, which is in Madikwe Private Game Reserve in the northwestern parts of South Africa. It does look like it is quite a scorcher of a day. You can see the sun is shining, not too many clouds. Hopefully that brings a lot of animals down towards the water during the show. So like I was saying, it does look like it is a scorcher here in Madikwe, but why don't we take a look at the weather throughout the other locations? So if we had a look at the weather throughout the different locations, it does seem like it is quite a hot day throughout South Africa or Southern Africa. So I'm hoping for a couple of the bigger animals coming down to the water to drink. Maybe some nice big herds of elephants coming to cool themselves down. Maybe some buffalo. You never know what comes down to drink. Marissa, you saying, Hud, you've got your coffee and ready to enjoy the afternoon with you at the Waterhole. Thanks once again for joining, Marissa. I do appreciate that, and hopefully that coffee is keeping you nice and warm, as well as looking out at the beautiful sunny South Africa. There's a small herd of zebra that's just resting here, and if you look at that zebra actually closest to the camera, there's actually a young foal that's lying down in the shade of mom. There's also another one just lying a little bit to the back. It's often quite incredible. A lot of people always think, why are these zebras standing out in the midday sun? And, I mean, zebras with their black and white stripes, they are able to regulate their body temperature. So, I mean, for these zebras, you can imagine like the stripes will reflect or attract sunlight. It's able to regulate body temperature, and that's why you often will see zebras just standing in the middle of an open clearing, just resting. But it does seem like that calf wants to be in the shade. I do apologize for any audio breakup that the viewers might be getting. We are working on the problem. Yeah, that youngster's now stood up. Rian, you're asking, do zebra stripes also help with pest control and how? Um, to be honest with you, I don't think so. I've never read any articles or seen any um, written documents on pest control within zebras and their stripes. Um, if I am wrong, I do apologize, but I'll have a little look into that and see if I can maybe find anything. But I haven't heard of anything. I know yesterday I was speaking about um, the impalas and the black on the backside of them, how it does attract ticks. So I mean, maybe the black does attract ticks in specific areas of the zebra, and it's easier than maybe for the oxpeckers to clean the zebra off. Maricela, you said you're a walking coffee pot from Paris in the Free State. You have an aircon on in your office and a fan at your feet, but a cup of coffee in your hand. That does sound delicious. I'm also sitting in an office with a fan on me. It is quite a hot day here in Johannesburg as well. I also did just have a coffee just before we started the show. Can see that young zebra foal on the left's getting a little bit annoyed with the flies, even now running away, even now running away from the flies. Mark VDB, you are asking me when will I be in the bush next, and I miss being out there. 100%. I definitely do miss being out in the bush. But to be honest with you, it is quite nice to be based at home. Um, for the last 8 or 9 years, I've been guiding in different parts of South Africa and been away from home for quite a lot of the time. So to be based at home and spend more time with family and friends, it is quite incredible. But I definitely do miss the bush quite a lot. Um, and Mark, I'll next be in the bush on the 7th of March. So I'll actually be up at Juma in the Sabi Sands where I'll be doing the live safaris. So if you do watch those live safaris, you'll be able to see me from the 7th of February for 2 weeks. So I'm really looking forward to getting back into the bush and seeing the animals with my own eyes in person. That's just my garden. You're saying, you wondering what I can find you today. I also wonder what we can find for you today. Um, I know, remember yesterday there was a Pride of Lions around Tau Lodge in Madikwe. So, I mean, maybe they caught something overnight that might be close to the water. There's always chance of elephants coming down towards the water. I know yesterday also there was a pack of wild dogs not too far from Juma. So there's some exciting things happening around in all the different locations. We're just going to have to wait and see how it plays out.
This is On Safari. In this particular case, it looks like he's made a coalition with his sons.
I'm sure this afternoon is going to be a fantastic drive, as always.
Now remember, this is live and interactive, so we'd love to hear from you.
Does also seem like the water levels have risen a little bit here at Jamala. I know there was a viewer yesterday that was saying it seems like the water level has dropped. The water level does seem like it's picked up again, which is good for these animals. They're all really enjoying their afternoon drink. Captain Bill Burkett, hola to you from Johannesburg, South Africa, all the way to the big island of Hawaii, saying that it's nearly midnight there. Well, I hope you are in a nice, comfortable position, feet up, and just enjoying nature. I'm Akim 333. So to clarify, I'm going to Juma on the 7th of March. So not February. For February, I'll be doing live at the Waterhole, and then on the 7th of March, I'll be heading up to Juma. And you're saying you can't wait to put a face to that wonderful name. I really do appreciate that. So, okay, you're wondering the difference between conservation and preservation. So, conservation is generally associated with the protection of natural resources. So, for example, water or specific trees within an area, specific landscapes, things like that. Where preservation is the protection of sort of objects. So, like to preserve an area. It also can be, I mean, preservation, conservation, they're very similar things, but you want to preserve the land. So you want to try and keep the land as natural as possible. Conservation comes in where you look after the land for say, for instance, the natural resources like the water, the animals, things like that. Sanjeev Roy, you're saying that there was lots of commotion in Juma live cam involving hippos fighting in the morning. That's very interesting because I maybe wonder if it wasn't maybe another male that came in and tried to take over that water hole, or maybe the mom was protecting her calf from another male, a different male, not the father. So it'll be interesting to see at some point when we do cross to Juma, um, what's going to be happening there. Captain Bull, you're saying that you're sitting outside looking at the stars and listening to the whales. That's quite incredible. Very different to where I am currently, or even what we're looking at currently. But I'm glad you're enjoying the outdoors and listening to those whales making lots of noise. Then we do get something similar to a botfly. It's also like it's mostly known as a horsefly. And so those flies, when they bite you, it can be incredibly sore. So that's what that foal might be running away from. Even if they bite you as humans, it's rather painful. It's almost like a bee sting. And I can imagine there's probably not just one following that foal. Andre, you're asking, are there any other diseases or consequences of a horsefly bite in humans? So often if you do get bit by a horsefly, like you can disinfect the wound, or put on some cream, like something like an antiseptic cream. But a lot of the time, those bites will just heal by themselves. It's nothing really to worry about. But if you are allergic and you start to um, like your breathing starts to slow down, there might be a little rash. Maybe just go get seen to, just in case. You never know if you are allergic or not. You might be having an allergic reaction. But it's not very common to be um, allergic to a horsefly bite.
We are bringing you a new and improved fan favorite. We have unearthed the finest gems from over the years in our archives to give you hours of amazing entertainment. Hop on the largest safari vehicle in the world and revisit the best of WildEarth with epic moments from eco-training Pride Lands, memories from Madikwe, and more. Reconnect with your favorite naturalists and animal characters with the best of Safari Live. WildEarth, connecting with nature.
Just having a good scan around the waterhole here. I'm very surprised that there hasn't been any elephants that have come down just yet. But those elephants might still just be resting in the shade. Maybe once it does cool down a little bit, we'll have some action. So while we do allow these zebras to feed on this lush green grass here at Jamala, we're going to head over to a quiet Okaguyo. Captain Bull, you are wondering if there's been any wild dogs around. So yesterday morning, I do believe that there was a pack of wild dogs that chased a herd of impala around Juma at the Waterhole. But today, there's a couple of different wild dog packs that spend time within those areas. So you never know. I know some of the viewers have seen wild dogs at Rosie's Pan or even Cat Eye Pan. So we'll just have to wait and see. Drive Bunny, good morning to you, all the way from the UK. I do hope, Drive Bunny, that the weather has started to get a little bit better. I do know that it has been quite chilly throughout most of the parts of the UK. Thank you very much for your kind words, saying it's so lovely to have me hosting the show again. The viewers will have me hosting the show until next week Sunday, both morning and afternoon. So I do hope everybody is enjoying listening to my narration. Maricelo, you're asking, many naturalists are pro or hobby photographers. What tips can you share for nature photography? Um, it's very tough to like just give you tips and things like that. But if you are wanting to get into nature photography, something like a lens, like 100-400 millimeter lens, is quite good for nature photography because you can get quite up close and personal, but you can also get those very wide shots with the 100 millimeter lens. But if you are just slowly getting into it, you don't need to go and buy the top of the range camera. Um, some of those cameras are pretty pricey, um, and all you want to do is just be able to sort out your exposure, so how bright or how dark the scene might be, um, and things like that. Also, the positioning within um, the object within the frame is quite important. So a lot of people I've seen, they like to take photos with the animal right in the center of the screen, and a lot of the times it's way better to put the animal. We call it the rule of thirds. So what that is you divide the frame into three, so the first, second, and third, and never put the animal in the second frame, so in the middle frame. Always try and put it in the first or the third. It just creates a lot more atmosphere within that photograph. Sarah, one of the best um, self-drive game reserve to go to, personally, I would say, is Kruger National Park. Just the amount of wildlife in Kruger Park is astonishing. The southern sections are very, very good for big game, so lion, leopard, hyenas, elephants, cheetah, things like that. And then the further north you go, the game does start to become a little bit scarce. That's just a beautiful area. If you are into birding or bird photography, the Punda Maria region, which is very far north up in Kruger National Park, is a good one to go to. But then also Pilanesberg National Park. It's a little bit closer to Johannesburg, 3 hours or so. It's a little bit smaller or a lot smaller compared to Kruger, but they've also got a lot of different game within that area. And one nice thing about Pilanesberg is a lot of the northwestern parts of Pilanesberg, there's actually no roads. So a lot of the animals, they are able to go into areas that they don't see any cars and just be within nature. Marissa, you saw a herd of rhinos come down to the waterhole last night. The first 3 arrived around 9:30, and you could count the other 5 in the background. That's pretty incredible. So you had 8 rhinos coming down to drink here at Ukaguyo. That is very incredible. I'm glad you got to see such a wonderful sighting. And so we don't call a lot of rhinos together a herd. A lot of people do, but it's the technical term that we normally use is a crash of rhinos. So we'll say if you see like two or more rhinos, or maybe 3 rhinos, we'll say, oh, there's a crash of rhinos. The collective noun. Javani, Pilanesberg's, I believe, on your bucket list, and Namibia. It is a beautiful place to go and visit, and if you do get the opportunity, definitely head out there for a weekend. It's a nice weekend getaway. And you're saying the black rhinos here are legendary. Black rhinos anywhere, Javani, are legendary. They're incredible animals. They're one of my favorites, to be dead honest with you. So it is a little bit quiet here in Namibia, but beautiful full scenery with some springbucks and some birds. But we're going to head over to Juma for now and see what's going on. Larissa, I'm glad you are still learning. You, like you say, you're never too old to learn. And you're saying that it's the day before your 50th birthday. Well, I'll definitely have to wish you a happy birthday tomorrow. I will make sure that I don't forget to wish you a happy birthday tomorrow. Can you hear those red-billed buffalo weavers in the background? But I know we did just cross to Juma, but we're going to cross back to Jamala, where it seems like we got some elephants. So I was saying that this could be the um, one little family group. So the mother, well, now the second from the right, and her three most recent calves. And often you will find that. I mean, you can see the difference in size compared to all those calves. Often elephants will have a calf sort of every 3 or 4 years, and just by judging at the sheer size of them, they definitely all could be hers, which is quite incredible to see. I mean, I can't 100% say that they're all hers, but there's a very good chance that they are all her previous offspring. Marissa, you were asking me if I was able to find um, your screenshots on X. I was indeed able to find them, and those photos that you put up are indeed black rhinos. So, well, it was black rhinos. So, black rhinos, their heads are a lot smaller compared to the white rhino. Firstly, but also they often have their heads up, um, because they're browsers. They're feeding on trees, whereas white rhinos are grazers, and they're feeding on grass. Also, the black rhino doesn't really have too big of a hump on the back. Whereas if you look at a white rhino, they've almost got like this prominent saddle on them. And then also black rhinos, the both the horns tend to be quite similar in size, compared to the white rhino, where the front horn is a lot bigger compared to the second horn. But thank you very much for sharing those with me. Stephanie, the baby of the group does have very good use of its trunk already. And you're saying that babies are so lovable. Babies are very lovable. Babies of any sorts, of any animal out here, are very, very cute. There is nothing better, Stephanie, than a baby elephant that's unable to use its trunk and running around with that trunk just flinging in all different directions. It can be quite entertaining to watch. So as these 4 elephants leave, there's one that's coming down now. Does look like an elephant bull, and you can see how they've all stopped. They're sort of very interested in that elephant. It doesn't seem like there's going to be any interaction. This young elephant knows exactly where he wants to go and have a drink. Smelling out that freshest water. Seems like all these elephants that have come down today have come from a similar area. I mean, if you look at the color of their skin, they're quite red in color, so they might have come from an area that's very rich in iron. Cooling off in the midday heat. And watch as this elephant throws water on the backs of his ears. He did it on the left. Sarah, you wondering how much water does an elephant bull sort of this age need per day? So, I mean, elephants, they do need a lot of water per day. So, I mean, obviously, the bigger the elephant, the more water it's going to need. But I've read a couple of articles and things like that, and a lot of them say on average about 150 liters of water, um, which is about 30 or maybe like 40 or 45 gallons of water, which is quite a lot of water. I mean, for a young elephant bull like this, you'll probably have around that much, but as they get older and bigger, they're definitely going to need a lot more than that. Probably over 50 gallons of water. Stephanie, I'm glad this elephant could make you laugh and put a smile on your face on this Tuesday morning. You did have a purpose. It was not a casual walk. You knew where you wanted to be and why you wanted to be there. And often, I mean, you can actually see with a lot of elephants or even other animals within the African bush, if they know that they need to get to some point specific for a reason, and they put their heads down, they can just march and they get there very quickly. But other times they don't really have a specific place that they need to be. So it's not like they say, okay, I'm leaving Johannesburg now and I need to be in Durban in 6 hours' time. They they often don't have a specific place that they do need to be. So that's why they can often be quite casual. I mean, roaming around, and when they decide, okay, I need water now, they'll move towards the next water hole.
We all know the struggle of finding the perfect gift. But what if you could give them an unforgettable experience? Something truly extraordinary. Introducing Nature Eye. Fly a real drone remotely at iconic locations, witnessing the beauty of nature like never before. Sign up to be an explorer and you could win one of these experiences yourself. Visit natureeye.com today.
How incredible is this? Another herd of elephants coming down to join us. Always incredible just to listen to the different sounds that these elephants are making, all the trumpeting and the rumbles and the grumbles. But you're saying that one herd booked the swimming session first. It does seem like that, but I mean, often you find that elephants will be very relaxed with one another around water holes. I think the ones that are making the noise right now is a lot of the youngsters. So they might just be chasing one another around just for fun. They might have only recently been able to start trumpeting. So I mean, when somebody learns to whistle, all they can do is whistle. So that also might be something that might be happening here. But also, it might just be a little bit of excitement. Yeah, Bunny, thanks very much. I'm glad you are enjoying my explanations on what we're witnessing around a lot of these water holes, yeah, throughout our different locations within Southern Africa. Nanon, hi to you from Holland. Thanks very much for joining us. I hope you're enjoying the elephants just as much everybody else is enjoying the elephants today.
Good afternoon and welcome to WildEarth's Bush Hub here in the Western Kruger. My name is James Henry, Gerrit is on camera, and over the next 30 minutes we're going to look at the highlights that took place in the field over the last 24 hours. We'll have a look at yesterday afternoon's sunset safari, this morning's sunrise safari, with an eye to planning this afternoon's activities in the field. This is On Safari.
Honey Badger, you enjoy or you love when the elephant herds come to the water and the youngsters start throwing their weight around. It is always fun and entertaining to watch when elephant herds come down towards the water, and the youngsters they do start to throw their weight around. And I've often seen it where the youngsters will chase things like Egyptian geese or herons or any small little bird that might be on the banks of the waterhole. Even starting to chase other animals. I've seen it before where elephants will chase inyalas. So my favorite part about narrating live at the Waterhole is just that, I mean, I can interact with a lot of the viewers from no matter where you are in the world. You can send through your comments. I can share my passion for the bush with you all, give you some pointers on different things about the wildlife, and just open everybody's eyes to conservation as well as the African bush, and hopefully get everybody that is watching on safari to come to South Africa or come and join me on a safari um, in South Africa. I also really enjoy that there's a lot of different locations. I've been a freelance guide now for the last 6 or 7 months, and to be able to go to all different locations is quite incredible. I mean, a lot of the time when you are lodge based, you drive in the same areas, the same roads constantly for 3 or 4 years. So also live at the Waterhole is nice because you've got lots of different locations that you can talk about. Um, I mean, we can talk about Madikwe, we can talk about Kruger National Park or the Baluli, we can go up to Kenya, Namibia. So it keeps things interesting also. Diane from the UK, I have seen elephants chase rhinos before. I've seen them chase rhinos out of mud wallows before because they wanted to get to the mud wallows. And it was actually a young male elephant that chased the rhinos out of the wallow. And he ran at the rhinos, and the rhinos didn't move, and he got a bit of a fright and actually ran back towards Mom to say, "Mom, why aren't you helping me?" Seems like these elephants have now come back to the shade underneath that tree. And some of them are actually coming for a second sip of water. Stephanie, you one saw a baby elephant tormenting an older elephant until the older elephant retaliated. And then the mom had to intervene to protect the tiny infants, such innocent babies. They do tend to start causing um, a little bit of trouble within the herds, the youngsters. They start to think that they're big and strong enough to do everything that the adults are doing. But they can be quite innocent, but also sometimes not too innocent. LG7, you're wondering where I'm originally from, and do I travel outside of Africa? So I am originally from South Africa, Johannesburg. My dad's from New Zealand. My mom's from a place in Johannesburg called Germiston. Um, but yeah, I've spent my whole life within Johannesburg, and I have traveled out of Africa. Um, I've been to New Zealand a couple of times just because my dad's family is from around there. I've been to Australia. I've been on a trip to Thailand before with one of the rangers I used to work with at Punda. And then my most recent trip was actually to Europe. My brother, he lives in London, and we went on a once in a lifetime trip. We went to watch South Africa at the Rugby World Cup in Paris. I went to the Oktoberfest in Germany, and then I also went to the Ryder Cup, which was in Italy, which was one of the most incredible trips that I've ever been on, and I'll remember it for the rest of my life. So I do travel outside of Africa.
We all know the struggle of finding the perfect gift. But what if you could give them an unforgettable experience? Something truly extraordinary. Introducing Nature Eye. Fly a real drone remotely at iconic locations, witnessing the beauty of nature like never before. Sign up to be an explorer and you could win one of these experiences yourself. Visit natureeye.com today.
How incredible is this party that these elephants are having? Just what I wanted to see. These elephants do seem to be having a field day here at the Waterhole. I'm so glad we're getting a lot of elephant coming down to drink. They can be always entertaining. So it is coming up to 1 o'clock, everybody, where it's an exciting time of the afternoon where we are able to introduce our different locations with Africams. And just a shout out to Africams for allowing us to access their different cameras in all the different locations throughout Southern Africa. without them it wouldn't be possible. So thank you once again.